Good evening to one and all, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar. Seeking the blessings of His Holiness Swamiji, I heartily welcome Dr. Dakshayani, Professor in Dentistry and Director, Center for Distance Education, JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research. Welcome you, Madam.
Thank you,
I
Dr.
also take pleasure in welcoming Mr. Sharath Chandra Reddy from ITTI Solutions, Bangalore. Welcome you, sir, who is accepted to be the resource person for this webinar. Welcome you, sir.
Yeah, pleasure, Mamta. Thank you.
I also welcome our team, Mr. Renukarya, Mrs. Kanakavalli, Dr. Shailaja, and the CIO sir and team, and all my colleagues from the department, and the participants from various disciplines, as well as our MBA, Hospital Administration, both regular as well as online course, our BBA students, as well as MBA Pharmacy Administration students. So it's a pleasure to have all of you here for this insightful talk on EMR and digitalization in healthcare. See, as we all know, this pandemic has brought about a lot of changes in healthcare field. And one such is the integration of technology in many of the disciplines of healthcare. So today we are going to be enlightened by Mr. Sharath Chandra Reddy about this topic. And before we commence with the actual session, I request Dr. Dakshayani Madam to give an insight into the webinar and before we proceed. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Dr. Mamta. Again, greetings from JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research. It is a pleasure to have a good number of student and faculty participation in this webinar. And as Dr. Mamta said, this is going to be a very insightful webinar in these COVID times. Yes, but at the same time, a webinar, when we talk about a webinar, it has a lot of advantages because we have the pleasure of hearing to the subject experts wherever we are across the globe. And since we have students here who are on the online platform with us, who are from across the globe, from different countries, we will be able to hear from the experts their views, lectures and expert about the subject in a very good way. And also these webinars have the facility of you interacting with these experts, which may not be possible for you at any other conferences or other forms of communications, where it would be a little difficult. But here you will get the chance to talk to the experts in the field that they are specialized in, so that you have a better understanding of the subject in which you are getting graduated in. In that way, these are going to be very, very helpful. Not only that, these webinars have the facility of being recorded and provided to the students who can view them at their leisure, even if they have not been able to log on to this, or even for people who have logged on, you have the facility of seeing it repeatedly so that you understand the subject in a much deeper and in a better way. So with these words, I welcome Mr. Sharath Chandra Reddy to this webinar, who is an expert in your field, and I welcome all the students, and I will tell you all that I wish you all a good luck to learn well with this webinar and take advantage of this. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Madam. Mr. Renukarya, would you be kind enough to introduce the speaker?
Sure, madam. Thank you, madam. Good evening, one and all, and greetings for the day. Seeking the blessing of His Holiness Jagat Guru Shri Shivratrishwara Deshi Kendra Mahaswamiji, I, Renukarya, would consider my privilege to welcome the eminent speaker, Mr. Sharath Chandra Reddy, who is working as a solution architect at ITTI Private Limited, Bangalore. Mr. Sharath Chandra Reddy is a graduate in electronics, and he is having a 22 years of rich IT experience, where he started his career from ER Software in 1999 as a software engineer, and next he came to Wipro from 2004 to 10 as an architect, and from there he came to BMC Software and Glow Mantra Services, Emits Technologies, and Sorobai. Now currently he is working in ITTI Private Limited since 2019. So when it comes to his professional skills and IT skills, being solution architect, Mr. Sharat Chandra Reddy has a knowledge on high scalable and high performance applications, experience in designing loosely coupled, secured and highly scalable microservice architect that can support million of Android and iOS mobile application, like example, Kaun Banega Crorepati program, Indian Idol for Sony Picture and Networks. Also has experience in designing database, distributed algorithms, relevant searching, business intelligence, and reporting solutions, advanced data structures, high volume data processing, and statistics using open source networks. Experience in designing and developing an application in cloud security, entertainment media, healthcare applications, financial applications, social networking applications, monitoring applications, and asset management applications. So we have one among the IT high rich knowledge IT person who has also worked in healthcare applications. And Mr. Sharat Chandra Reddy will be also telling you what are all the applications he has worked and what are all the new developments which are going to come in the EMR in the upcoming future. I welcome you once again, Mr. Sharat Chandra Reddy, sir. The platform is over to you.
Thanks, one and all. Thanks for Dr. Mamta. Thanks for Dr. Dakshani and Mr. Renukachari. Thanks for this. And guys, like today I'm planning to discuss about like healthcare, what is happening in the industry, and where we stand as of today, what is the thought of the people. Okay, so I'll just share my knowledge and whatever I have worked. I mean, we have developed a few applications in healthcare also. So we'll start, and in case if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and whatever within my knowledge, I will reply. In case if I don't know your questions, definitely I'll go back, I'll get the answer, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen. Please let me know.
Yes, Mr. Shah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so today we are talking a topic of healthcare. Yeah. So the most important topic is healthcare in this society. After this pandemic, everyone knows the importance of healthcare. But again, for some reason, if you see our style of living style or the mentality of our people, if you say every day, please log into some social network, we do that, right? Yeah. And if you say like, please send some messages in some chat media, people will do that. Okay. Whereas if you say that, please check your blood pressure, please check your heartbeat, please check about your health care, people really hesitate. Okay. People, for some reason, when you have time, I mean, we cannot check about our health. I mean, that. Do you agree? Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, Sharat sir. The thing is like only the host can talk here. The learners or the students can only raise their hand or can just talk. They can't communicate.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got it. So, okay. Today we'll continue with one direction. In case if you have any questions, feel free to chat or drop a message to Renukachari, and I will get the questions from him. Yeah. Okay. So today we will continue with. Okay. So as we told, like today's topic is healthcare. At very high level, let us start with where we stand. Okay, we'll talk about background. Then let us go and let us understand like what is EMR. And let us discuss about like digitalization of healthcare. We'll see what are the advantages, disadvantages of that. And definitely, you name anything in the world, it has to be secured. Okay, so since we are talking about healthcare, let us discuss about security also. So again, this is not a new topic. This topic is there, healthcare is there in the industry from couple of years. I can say like 10 to 20 years or maybe little 30 years, we are dealing with this healthcare. We are trying to digitalization. Okay, so the next question comes, we are working this from past few decades. Okay, what next? Yeah, guys, I request you please be curious, keep thinking. We will discuss about what next. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the next topic. So we'll start with the background. Yeah. So say like we are on the way, we are on the streets, we are going on some direction and we see a small accident. Okay, so and you feel that we should take care of him. Yeah, you need to visualize and try to take the picture in front of you. Okay, whenever we are discussing, try to take the picture so that we can try to relate the real time things. Okay, and let us think together how to solve this. Okay, yeah, so the background is like as a common man, we are seeing some people, they're met with an accident on the street and we take him to hospital. Okay, as a common man, our responsibility is done. But if you see, the real responsibility of the doctor starts from that moment. Okay, so I think we all agree to treat any patient. Okay, patient history is very important for treatment. I think you agree with me. Okay, and there is a big saying in medical care that is called golden hour. What is this golden hour? Try to give the treatment as soon as possible. Okay, I have collected few analytics from the Google, and I'll be sharing the soon in the next few slides. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, in case if you are not in medical background, you may also feel surprised. Okay, let us go with that. Okay. And now, as I told, as a common man, when we take a patient and when we reach to hospital, just try to visualize the hospital and the doctors are inside, that nurses are inside, or the helping people. There are many helping people directly, indirectly to the doctors. They are inside the hospital. And we take the person who has met with an accident and we are reached inside the hospital. Okay, you may be knowing that is called outpatient department. Okay, then the real investigation starts from, it is like a real live online. Okay, solving the problem for the doctors is really a big challenge. Okay, investigate all the issues, all the complaints, whatever it is with the patient, then only he can take the decision. Okay, you need to understand who is that patient. Okay, what has happened to him? Is there any problem in leg or any problem with heart, or is any problem in his head? You need to analyze that. Okay, at that moment, for any doctor, a decision is very, very important. Taking the right decision is extremely important. Say, for example, we are into some manufacturing industry. Okay, I'm trying to manufacture this laptop. Okay, or I'm trying to manufacture a beautiful car in the world. Okay, for some reason, if it is not working for few minutes or few hours, it's okay. We can stop that, we can open that, we can fix, and we can make it rerun. Correct? Say, Same thing, is this possible with hospital? Is this possible with healthcare? Say we have taken a person who has met with a accident, we have taken to a hospital, and for some reason heart gets stopped. Doctor says, don't worry, we'll open the heart, fix it, and can we make it rerun? No, right? So now the serious of healthcare is coming. We cannot take this as simple as any other industry in the world. You can take it very simple about car. We can take it very simple in electronics. We can take it very simple in rocket launching, everything. But when it comes to healthcare, there is no second chance. Doctor need to fix the problem in one shot, or the patient is gone. So the decision making is very important for any doctor. Okay, and the reality on the society, we need to accept we have very less doctors. So some of the data says that we have less than one doctor for 1,000 people. Yeah, and even one is a good number. In few countries, we have very less. In developed country called like America, around like some 3.3, 3.5 doctors are there for every 1,000 people. Still, the number is very less. Okay, so at very high level, this is the background about the society, about the healthcare, about the importance. Okay, so since like I was talking about golden hour. Okay, as I told, I took few analytics. Okay, this is a pure data from healthcare industry. Okay, if you see any accident, okay, or it can be heart attack, or it can be any medical issue. Okay, people says not hours or not days. If you get the patient within 1 hour, it is a great help for the patient. Doctor can do really a good job. Okay, so for example, if the people are there, it is been categorized into 3 sections. One is heart stop. Okay, within few minutes, doctor is like really helpless. Okay, in case of if the patient has any breathing issues, that will still considered as second priority. Okay, second issue. Whereas the last thing comes as massive blood leaking. Okay, still, if you reach that patient to hospital within like in hours, okay, this graph you can see, okay, you'll get one idea. It will help doctor a lot. So in general, we like to say golden hour is really a golden hour for the patient. If we get the patient as soon as possible to the hospital, we can do the best for him. Otherwise, already the people, when they go to hospital, it means that he is in trouble. If you go late, it means it is more trouble. Yeah. Okay. So once again, please try to visualize. Okay. We are taking a patient who was on the roadside. We took him to the hospital. Okay. Outpatient department, for example. Now, there are couple of doctors with different types of responsibilities. Hope you agree. Yeah. Now, as soon as we go to hospital, the few nurse or few doctors, they take the first aid. They check the patient, what has happened. In case if blood is leaking, they will try to stop that, or they will try to check like what is the problem, and they will try to solve. Okay. Some cases, or most of the cases, they may not be able to take the decision because internal parts, what got damaged. Nobody will be knowing. Doctor cannot analyze just like that. Okay. Earlier days, what they used to do is they used to do the first level of medicine or treatment, and they used to go for like take a X-ray. Okay, for example, or they take some samples called, for example, the simplest is a blood sample. Take the blood sample, and they will send it to the lab, and they will check for it. Okay, then they will be keep waiting for the report, and all those reports, just imagine it is in paper format. Okay, just check here as shown in this diagram. When the patient goes to hospital, within no time, okay, if all the reports, all the labs, all the checkups, when it convert to paper, we can see this many papers in front of a doctor. Oh my God, we really struggle to read so many books for a whole year exam, and doctor, you need to analyze all these papers, and it is very important. You need to give the treatment to patient as soon as possible. Yeah, see the challenges in front of the doctor. Okay, so can we try to help doctor? Okay, this particular automation, this complete world is going towards automation or machines. We are creating a smart machines where it will help ourselves. Okay, now let us try to make or create few machines which will help doctors. Okay, so instead of carrying this many papers, doctor, if he carries one simple small tab or a laptop or his phone, okay, and this particular system, if we say, you just imagine for now, this is one box, okay, or you call it as a tablet or you call it as a laptop. This has the smartness. Okay, remember, this has some smartness which we have developed, by the way. Okay, the smartness will tell this is the only problem I see to this particular patient. Okay, it has analyzed all these many papers and it is giving the end problem. Then just imagine it will solve, I can say like maybe more than 50% or sometimes 75%. And we have few examples, very, very less, but we have few examples which will tell 90% of the things is being analyzed. We are giving only the 10% things to the doctor. Hey, this is a gray area which I see about this particular patient. Now you take the decision. For example, the simplest example which everyone can understand, say the heartbeat is more, okay, or like the blood is moving very fast or moving very slow, okay, or you can say like some symptoms, very commonly symptoms to the doctor. Wow, this is nothing like that. It is a great, very great help for the doctor. Okay, so now this is the problem which we are seeing, and this is the best solution which we are thinking as of today. Version of the paper. Okay, what I told, there is a paper. It contains all the patient information, starting with every minute small things. Okay, so that contains all the patient's medical history. Okay, whatever happened, we call it as history. It can be 1 minute back or 1 year back. Everything is history and everything is available in front of the doctor. Okay, we no need to analyze this many. Let us assume in this 100 papers, we have 90 papers is good. Okay, so this particular report says 90% of the things are good. You just need to focus on only 10% of the papers. Yeah. Okay, so as I told, like today's topic is EMR, and at very high level, this was the problem which was in few years back. And for some reason, in few very poor countries or in few poor hospitals. Till today, people are following this, but like the end goal, most of the hospitals, we are good. We are going to this direction. Okay, so today's topic is EMR. Once again, welcome all. Okay, so let us go into little detail about what is EMR. As we told, it is a medical record, but this medical record is in form of electronic form. What is electronic? Okay, is this some light is called as part of electronics, digital people? Yeah. So what is this electronic form means? This information, health related information, okay, about it can be a simple. Let us start with what is the patient name? Okay, what is his age? What is his gender? Oh, what is his weight? Nowadays, people are just increasing their weight like anything. Okay, in which age group he falls? Okay, what is his problem? For example, he has a heart problem. Okay, this is called health related information, medical records. Okay, so what is electronic medical record? It is a piece of software, okay, and hardware. Basically, a software is written and it is been executing in your laptop or in your desktops, in your hospitals. You can visualize as of now like this. It's very small software. You can consider like that. Okay. Now, what is a software? We need to understand it is a collection of instructions given to a machine. What is a machine? It is a laptop in this example, or it is a desktop inside the hospital. It is, we are giving few instructions and we are also giving few data. Okay, these two things is very important, these instructions and data. Okay, please remember in the down, in the next few slides, we'll be talking in detail. Okay, instructions and data. Okay, we tell that to a computer how to work. So what is this EMR software? It is a software. We are giving few instructions to it. Do like this. Oh, if you cannot do like this, then do the plan B. Oh, plan B is not possible. Do plan C, plan D, like that. It can go to hundreds and hundreds and thousands and n number of instructions. Okay. So what is EMR? It is a software. In the software, we have given few instructions and we have feeded some data also. And we are telling computer how to work. Okay, this is called EMR application. Okay, so let us assume this, we have given all the instructions. Okay, and by the way, you also need to see like we are from software background, and for some reason we don't know anything about healthcare, like doctors. Doctors knows it is a totally different topic, right? They know, they have read a lot of books, they have seen a lot of experiments, they know doctors, and they're doctors, and we are into software development. How do we know how to develop this application? What are the instructions we need to follow? Frankly speaking, we know only zero information. When we develop this application, when we are giving instructions to the computers, or when we are collecting this data, we take lot and lot of help from the doctors. Okay, the people who have done MBBS doctors, or they have done MD, they will leave all their time, or sometimes they give the time. Okay, hey, tomorrow at 8 to 9 o'clock I'm free, please come and ask all the questions. We, the software development people, we go to the doctor, we will start asking about the healthcare. Okay, what is called, what are the factors you consider before checking the patient. Okay, then all that information, whatever the analysis doctor do in his mind, that are called instructions for us. Okay, these are called instructions. Okay, and what is the data? The data is, say, for example, the commonly used is blood pressure. Okay, it should be like 80, 90 units. Okay, for example, if anything is less than 70, okay, 70 to 80 is still considered as okay condition. Okay, if it is anything less than 70 units, we call it as some dangerous. Okay, we tell the doctor, hey, something is going on. Okay, say like 100, 110, sometimes it's okay. If it goes anything more than limit, basically you need to understand the logic here. Okay, there is, for everything there is upper limit and lower limit. We are just trying to capture that information. If anything goes beyond that, then we call it as red alert. Okay, we give the instructions to doctor. We say, hey, this is what we have noticed. Okay, and now the doctor has to take the final decision. Okay, so this is called instructions, and this is the data. We told upper limit and lower limit, right? This is called data. Now, is this the only instruction and only data we are giving to the system to follow? No. When you say the most complex thing in the world is humans, our system is designed so robust by the nature. We are still in learning. We are still learning from many years, and I don't know, we need many more years to we need to learn our full body. Okay, so coming back to EMR, what is this EMR? Does it store? Okay, it stores all the patient information. Okay, I'm telling like instructions. I hope you have understood high level what is a instruction, and you also understand what is a data, like upper limit of the blood, lower limit of the blood cells, okay, heartbeat, something like that. Okay, now we are talking about storage. What is a storage? Okay, where do we store? This is partially technical. Okay, maybe like non-computer students, please bear with me. Okay, what is this data or what is this storage is the information. We need to remember continuously, this is electronic machine. Okay, and to work this we need a power supply. Say for some reason I have removed all the power supply, and when you reconnect the power supply, all this information has to be with you. This is the minimum expectation, right? Yeah, so all this information will be stored inside a database. Okay, in technical words, we call everything as data, and the place where we store all this information is called database. Okay, oh, now there is a new word called cloud. In Bangalore, in India, it's a cloudy day and raining almost full day. Is this cloud and this cloud, whatever we are representing here, is both are same? No. Okay, so what is this cloud means? You can consider like it is nothing but one more system. Okay, now just visualize, we are inside a hospital. There are so many laptops, there are so many desktops, everything is working on. Okay, now in the background, whatever you see is frankly speaking very small numbers of the system. In the background, we need many more systems to make these systems working. Okay, so the background systems, there should be a team, a pure team should be there to monitor these systems, and they need to make these systems up and running continuously. Okay, so there is two options nowadays. All these systems, we can keep it inside the hospital to make help to the doctors, or we can also keep all these systems in centralized place. For example, in complete India, we can keep it in one place. Nowadays, we keep this particular big, very, very big systems inside the sea. Near Mumbai, in Maharashtra, India, we have kept inside the sea and we are managing it. Like that, it is the data centers are there in many places in the across the world. Okay, so what is this cloud? Cloud is nothing but a same system. The laptop, whatever you're using, it is something similar to that, which is in centralized place, and you can use that anywhere in the world with help of internet. Okay, this cloud, for now you can just try to understand only this much. Okay, and the database is nothing but it is a data where we are storing is called database. Okay, in the database we also called as DBMS, database we are managing, right? So it is called M for management, and system, it is complete system. DBMS is an organized collection of data stored and accessible electronically from a computer, or in other words, it's our EMR system. I told EMR is a piece of software. From this particular software, we can access database and retrieve all the patient information and his history information also. Okay, we talked about cloud systems. Cloud systems is nothing but users and company don't have to manage physically. Now, the systems keeping inside your organization, inside your hospitals is not required. Okay, you can keep it somewhere in the cloud. We call it as cloud. Okay, and it can be accessed via over internet. Okay, so this is called at very high, very high level. Okay, EMR. Okay, so we understood like what is EMR? It's a piece of software. Okay, what is the benefits of EMR? Okay, as we keep talking, EMR can maintain all patients' health history. Okay, why do we need health history? As we discussed, for any patient to give any treatment, is medical history is very much important. So we will maintain all his patient information. His history will be maintained in EMR. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the next advantage? Say like a patient has to visit the hospital frequently. Say like every 15 days, you need to visit the hospital. You need to, a doctor need to check up, and you can go back home. Now, when you come the second time, earlier days, there was one person who was standing in the entrance. He used to ask, what is the patient name? Okay. And he used to get why you are coming here. And all the details was collected and it was passed in an order to doctor. It is like a repeated work. Okay. If you want to come like some, assume that you need to come for 6 months. Okay. Every 15 days. Okay, approximately 12 times he is coming to a hospital, and you need to share the same information to the doctor. Whereas when we go with EMR, okay, you no need to fill the forms during each visit. Okay, this is one of the advantage. Okay, and the doctor will there is no questions regarding the past medical history. Say for example, like hey, what happened 3 months back, what happened like 5 months back, let us assume there is a very big problem and patient is coming like years together. We cannot ask them like what happened around 1 year back. All this information is being saved safely in EMR application. Okay. Now, let us assume the doctors are, a patient is in, say, city A, and after couple of years, okay, for some reason, for personal reason, he goes to city Z, which is hundreds and hundreds of kilometers far, okay, to a different hospital, to a totally a different city. Sometimes it can be a different country also. Different country, this is like really a big question. We are working in this direction, but like there are so many legal issues and concerns and some challenges. Okay, we will discuss this in detail later on. Okay, for now, let us assume we are in one country and there are different hospitals within the city, and there is different hospital outside the city also. So if the patient going from one city to another city, say he is a different hospital, he is a different doctor, now he really don't know what has happened in the past. Yeah, now he can, in general, what will happen, he will say, please take this test number A, go to a test number B, go to lab, give this blood checkup, do all the tests once again. Just imagine the cost. Okay, just imagine the time base. It's time also, right? For each test, it will take so much of time. You need to prepare that and need to come back, and doctor has to reanalyze and you need to give the treatment. Okay, all this is like really a very costly, and I'm happy to say that we have developed a few softwares for this. We will discuss down the line. Okay, so all this can be saved if we are using EMR. There is a policy, there is a regulation where if the patient has been given all the information in hospital 1, and if we go to a different hospital into different city or a different state, you can get all that information. Okay, all the medical information can be shared from one hospital to another hospital. Okay, say like we were talking about like a patient, he's been collected all his health records, and it can be shared within different hospitals, different cities, different states, and different countries also. Okay, yeah, this is very good. And this, when patient, a person goes to a patient, some medical emergency, some medical problem, most of them, they lose the records. Okay, they are panic. Okay, and there is chances that they will forget the reports inside the car, or sometimes they will forget inside the hospital, sometimes in hotels they will forget, and there is chances that we need to take the test once again. Whereas after, once this EMR is been once this EMR is there, okay, we have advantage like all these reports can be taken once again, and there is no loss of information. A patient can see the reports online, and even doctor can see the reports online. Okay, and the next most important thing is AI. Okay, nowadays doctors are while they are giving a treatment to the patient, okay, they are focusing on analyzing the problem or giving the solutions to the patient. And nowadays the machine is taking the notes. Okay, for few of the hospitals we have also enabled voice. Okay, doctor will be recommending or he will be explaining the problem to the patient, and our system, our AI, okay, will capture all his voice, it will analyze, and it will take the notes automatically. And in the next visit, we will be giving the instructions to the doctor, hey, this is what you recommended to the patient last time. Already this is in like for few patients, or like for few hospitals we have enabled this. Okay, so by doing all this we can also reduce the cost of healthcare. Okay, so at very, very high level, these are the few benefits of EMR. Okay, so we talked about like a patient. Okay, just you should visualize. Okay, there is a patient is entering into the hospitals, and in outpatient department we have started treatment. Is this the end of the treatment? Yes, sometimes no. Okay, if the problem is like a really major, okay, we need to go for treatment inside the hospital. There are different departments, and the departments is so big, sometimes you take few minutes to go from one place to another place. So for example, you need to go for x-ray, you need to go for a pharmacy, or you need to take like a few medicine where you need to go to different place, and everything if it is digitalized. Okay, is this good? Believe me, it is like really very good, and we can also improve the quality of the systems. Okay, and the things will be very faster, and end of the day we can give with very low cost, we can give the best healthcare to everyone in the society. So the digitalization of healthcare, it will not only give the best medicine to one patient, across the city, across the society, across all the countries, for all human beings, we can give the best healthcare. This is the first, I can say, this is the first big advantage of digitalization of healthcare. And since we are making everything automate, okay, the things will be very faster. And no need to say once again, if the person is healthier, the country will be healthy. By digitalization of healthcare, we can achieve the country to healthy. Okay, so once we started converting like digitalization, so many new innovations came, new standards came in the society, telling like if the one information, let us assume we are in South India, you have taken a report, and for some reason tomorrow you are going into North India, and if the doctor is not understanding your report, what is the use? The problem is like it is not solved, right? So when the digitalization has been started, there is a new standards, healthcare standards has been introduced. So if I say for all hospitals, there is National Accreditation Board for Hospitals. This is a new standard, it has been raised for the hospitals. Same thing, NABL is been raised for all the labs. Okay, so the new standards has been achieved, so that any person who is in a village or is in a city or is in the major premium cities, okay, the healthcare will get a same standard. You can go to the village side hospital or any big hospitals, the standard of treatment what you get, it will be same. This is like really very good advantage, right? So the digitalization of healthcare has introduced a new standard. By this, everyone are getting first class healthcare treatments. With we can reuse these reports, and by this we can also reduce the cost. Okay, so we were talking about security. Why do we need security? Okay, guys, please believe me, these medical records, when it got digitalized, so many problems came. Okay, there are so many good people in the society, so many like people, they want to misuse this information, few people. Okay, so a new law came. Okay, basically it is called in healthcare it is called HIPAA standards. Okay, which was introduced by USA government, and I think it is approximately in 1996. Okay, how to, there are few rules. Okay, what is this? All the security says how to access this healthcare information. What is the authentications it has to be done? Where it has to be stored? And let us assume we are following everything. Are we doing auditing regularly? Okay, regularly we should be auditing all these standards are being followed. Okay, and say we were talking about like sharing of patient information from one hospital to another hospital. Yeah, so that requires digital transmitting. Okay, transmitting of electronic medical records. What and all, I mean, for every small, this is very high level topics we are talking. For everything, a detailed analysis is there and detailed rules is there. And at very high level, I can say there is lot security is being considered, and any just like that, nobody can misuse this information. Okay, as a common person, when his personal information is being shared with the hospitals, we can consider this information is safe. Okay, now I'm happy to share. Okay, there is a concept called CCDA, Consolidate Clinical Document Architecture. Okay, this is one standard which is being used in the industry across like one country called America, and to share the information from one hospital to another hospital. It can be within the city or it is outside the city, and this is the standards people will be using, and this is being approved by the government, and myself and my team was designed and developed these particular things for the first time in for one of the chain of hospitals. Okay, yeah, and see the restrictions for, as I was telling, like medical records is compared to paper. When we store the data in electronic form, it is being more secured. Okay, we can believe that earlier days the data was in paper, and now it is electronic, and electronic is more secured. Okay, so the people who have not seen, so this is me a couple of years back. As I told, this is called CCDA, which we developed for the first time to one of the organization, and this we are just chilling out. Okay, so this was developed by myself and my team. Okay, so we were talking about security. Again, security is of two things. Earlier we talked about authentication, authorization, transmission, everything that falls under soft security. Okay, security comes in at very high level, two pieces. One is called software security and another is called physical security, that is hardware security. Everything at the end of the day, it is stored inside a computer, right? So what are the securities we have given? Physical securities. Okay, as part of IT rules, okay, as part of the healthcare, the security is taken care at software level and it is taken at hardware level, which also include, okay, if you want to enter into this particular hardware room, there will be a access control, there will be a regular audits, there should be a integrity. Okay, a person who enters the lab room, okay, or the server room, it has to be like very high secured. Okay, and sometimes we will be enabling in such a way the door will be opened only for few minutes. Within, if you take permission for 10 minutes, the room will be opened only for 10 minutes. You need to come out of the room before 9 minutes 30 seconds. After that, the room will auto lock. Okay, to this extent we take the security in healthcare, and all the data is being encapsulated. I mean, it is highly secured, in other words. Okay, so we talked about EMR, and we talked about like security and some advantages, everything. Now, what next? Okay, digitalization of healthcare. Okay, we talked about outpatient department. Okay, can we do digitalization of X-ray? Answer is yes. Can we do for MRI? Yes. Can we do for ultrasound? Yes. Audio matrix? Yes. CBC analysis? Yes. Blood count analysis? Yes. Heart monitoring? Yes, yes, yes. So if you see the digitalization in healthcare, as I told, it is continuously improving from so many decades, and you name anything, okay, most of the thing is been already digitalized. Okay, so what next? Still the question holds good. Okay, can we do for outpatient this? Answer is yes, but the next question is what next? The next most important question, like most of the people, they will be asking, okay, since you are digitalizing so many things, can doctors can be replaced by computers, or can be replaced by machines, or can be replaced by software? Okay, computers are a software. Okay, or can be replaced with artificial intelligence. So do you have answers? You can say yes or no later on. Okay, so according to me, the answer is no. Can we replace the doctors by machines? Answer is no. Okay, we cannot replace the touch of the human doctors, but we only can help the doctors to make things faster. Okay, you need to remember, like all this process, all this automation, all this like creating of machines, okay, making the things faster, everything, we cannot replace the doctor, but all this we can help the doctor to make things faster. That's all. Okay, so once again, my question is, what next? Okay, the next thing which is going on the industry, and so many new projects which we have already started, and a few are in pipeline, and few have already completed, and a few doctors and a few I mean, we are waiting permissions from the industry people, and few permissions from the government. Okay, some policies are in the review. Okay, the next big thing is we need to connect the things. What are the things commonly available? Say, for example, like the common instrument which is available is, you are at a home and you have phone. Most of the devices in the world is this particular phone. It can be a phone, or it can be your watch. Nowadays, the watch is not only a instrument which can show time, it can do many more things. You may be knowing, right? So yes, so there is a watch which can monitor all your health. Okay, and this is being transmitted to your mobile. Okay, and nowadays this mobile information is being transmitted to EMR. Okay, and EMR is being integrated with a different machines. Okay, it can be your X-ray machine, or your like radio machines, or like sometimes it can be integrated with your labs. Okay, what are the tests going on, what are the results, what are the upper limit, what are the lower limit, and all this information is also integrated with your pharmacy. Okay, how many pharmacies, what is the medicine you should take, at what time it has to be taken. All this information is being shown to doctors in very, very beautiful presented way. Okay, can you see all these small boxes? All this is a different EMRs. Okay, a EMR inside the hospital, inside OTP, or it can be like labs, pharmacy, machines, so many. Okay, including your digital watch. Okay, all the healthcare information, how many steps you walk nowadays, we monitor even that. Okay, and all this information we are showing to a doctor. Doctor can take the best decision. The intention of making all this digitalization is, it is only to help the doctor, but not to replace the doctor. Okay. Okay, so we like to share the next big thing happening in this particular industry is, it is connecting things. What do you call these things? Things can be anything. Okay, it can be starting from your phone, hospital, labs, pharmacy, different hospitals within the city, and different hospitals outside the city, and some cases it is outside the country also. Nice. I think we started with like, what is the common problem which we are facing inside the city, and what are the challenges for the doctors, and this technology, how it can be helped. Yeah. Okay, so these are the things what is happening inside the industry, and I just shared the knowledge, what is EMR, and how it is being used across the hospitals, doctors, and how it is making things faster. Okay, and guys, in case if you have any questions, we'll be happy to take it. Any questions, Renukacharya?
Yeah, sir. This is Kanakavali, sir, here. Thank you for the wonderful session.
Thank
we
you.
have a couple of questions in Q&A box.
Yes, please.
Sir, would you like to answer it live or?
Yes, I mean, I can.
I would,
Okay.
yeah, I would read it aloud. What open source EMR softwares are available on the market is a question for you, sir.
Okay. Hey, this is like a really a good question. We have we also need to think about like I started talking about like the importance of the application. Say, for example, we are developing one car or one flight or one XYZ machine. It's okay if I do any small mistakes. It's okay. Whereas when I do any small mistake in healthcare, I cannot say no. If the art stops, it is stop. I cannot tell that after come tomorrow, I can restart that. No, I cannot say that, right? So what I want to answer is open source. It's very dangerous in healthcare. Okay. I recommend you, please take all open source in any technology. Okay. You can take any technology open source. Please use it. There are many open sources, which is very good. And when it comes to healthcare, many hospitals, many organizations are not approved only for testing purpose, only for learning purpose. You can use the open source, but for real-time hospitals, real-time lab, pharmacy, and any part of the healthcare, please, open source is not a good choice. Okay. Yes, please.
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir. And there's one more question on acceptance of EMR by doctors in India.
So there was a voice breaking. What I understood is doctors accepting this particular EMR? Is my understanding correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's really nice question. You see, any industry, okay, say like our kids, okay, when they go for school, when they move to high school, there was a small resistance, right? Initial few days, we were not accepting that new school. And say now, all your we are MBA students, okay? Say like you came from the degree college. When you came from degree college to MBA, first 1 or 2 days, you were you were loving your college days, correct? And college students were loving their school days. Yeah. In the same way, they say these computers is very wrong. you don't know
Sir,
anything.
sorry to interrupt, sir. We lost you in between for past 10 to 15 seconds. Hello?
Oh, is it? Okay. Is this better now?
Sir, yeah, but there are a bit, sorry,
Okay. Is
there
this
are
better now?
light of glitches.
Is better now?
No, sir, there is still a audio glitch from your end.
Okay.
We are completely losing you.
Try to repeat.
I think now it is better, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
Sir, now it's fine, sir. Now it's fine. Now it's
Okay.
fine. Sir,
Okay.
now it's fine, sir.
I was trying to answer the question. How does, okay, I just off the screen sharing and stopped the video also, thinking like the internet may be better. I really don't know where is the problem.
No, sir. Now you are loud and clear. Probably you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let me take the last question. Like, how does doctors taking this EMR? Answering to this question, yes, we have this challenge. Many doctors, they say no at the first step. Okay, they say that like you have not understood the healthcare. Doctors is different and engineering is different. They say no, but like very slowly when we try to understand them and when we try to show the real use cases which we have solved it, and if we by showing few examples, we are able to convince them. Answering to your question, yes, still till today we have a problem, and many small hospitals till today they are not accepting us, and many big hospitals, good that they are very broad-minded and they are accepting us. And answering to your question, few are yes, few doctors are taking very positively. Answer is yes, and a few people are taking no. We have both answers.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Was this clear? Please can.
Sir, would you like
continue?
to take the next question or you want to answer the questions
Yes.
after session 2?
Yeah, I can take 2 more questions.
Okay. So the next question is considering CCDA, the project, whatever you have worked on about the document architecture. So could you explain this in terms of, in relation to the National Digital Health Mission by Government of India?
Okay. It is almost similar to that. The only difference between this, the intention of both the projects is same. It is of sharing of information from one hospital to another hospital. At very high level, the intention of the project is same. Whereas when it comes to development, there are many more advantages in CCDA. For example, a patient can share the information from one hospital to another hospital. Okay. In this case, these 2 hospitals within same organization. It's a same group of organization, healthcare. Okay. It supports. And the second advantage is if you want to share information from A organization to B organization, in case of a national health which is provided, there are few up and downs. Okay, we need a lot of permissions, lot of security, everything. In this case, we can share within CCDA. You can also, it also supports, you can take a pen drive, you can go to hospital, you can authenticate, yes, he is the right patient. You can copy all the health information. Then you can go to the next hospital, you can give that pen drive and you can say like, this is the right patient information, you can transfer. So at very high level, answer is yes. And you can share healthcare information using so many ways, include all your healthcare information and your patient data.
Thank you, sir. And one question here is about, I think it is about electronic medical records. Why is this necessary? Nowadays, hospitals are using some softwares which are used for particular hospitals. And what is the use of this to help the hospital than patients?
Yeah, I mean, you in the question itself, we have the answer. You told some software. If the some software matches to all the standards across the country, okay, in healthcare, this did not came from the day one. Okay, it has gone with so many up and downs. There was so many lessons learned. Okay, say for example, there is a doctor, and doctor is trying to give one medicine, a medicine to a patient. Okay, for some reason, if the patient gets allergy with that, okay, and if the system says um, long back, say around like 3 years back or 2 months back, okay, we gave this medicine to patient, and this tablet took a allergic, okay, it was not, I mean, it was not good with him, so I recommend you to give a different medicine. Is this a good option? Answer is yes, right? So if you follow all these standards, as I told, like healthcare came with so many standards which will help directly, indirectly patient and a doctor. If you follow all these problems, if you solve all these problems, and if you follow all the standards, then your application, you told some application, that application itself can be called as EMR. In case if your application is not following the standards, indirectly it is not helping the patient, so that software is not really, and hospital and patients and of course a doctor.
So thank you, sir. There are two more questions. Would you like to take them now, or you want to go ahead for session 2?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So how blockchain technology can impact healthcare?
I feel
Or can it influence healthcare?
at very high level, at least I don't see any negative thoughts on it. Okay, positively, like totally, blockchain itself is a different concept, and healthcare. Uh, in healthcare, the mind and the sole intention of this healthcare is to care the patients only in health related. When it comes to blockchain, mm, frankly speaking, I'm not seeing any disadvantages, and I don't see any advantages. No, I mean, I'm seeing like one is apple and another is orange.
Okay.
I don't have proper answer to you, but I don't see any concerns also.
Okay, sir. Okay. And what are the backup plans in the case of malware attack is the last question.
Oh, okay. This is like very, very good question. Okay, and we have a lot of it falls under security. We were talking about storage. Yeah, I was talking about data centers. Okay, there is backups also comes under storage. Okay, very frequently I can say like there are so many levels, like yearly backups we take, sometimes we take daily backups, sometimes we also take transaction level backups. Okay, there are like level 1 to 3 hospitals in the in our cities, like in the country, in most of the country. Okay, it is been internally categorized into level 1 to 3, and if the patients falls under any like political background, or they are from military background, or they are from hospital, I mean doctor's background. Okay, when doctor can become a patient, right? So in that situation, the backups are totally different, and if the people are with the common people, where they are like there is no threat from any direction, like then the backups are different. The information is like I can say it is very very secured, I can say, and it is very top secret also. I mean, even I works, and it is very secured, and it is being designed in such a way, the passwords are being auto generated, all the information is being encapsulated, and to some extent even technical people cannot crack that. That is the algorithms we are using, and as I told, even technical person cannot take that information back. It is a system. Only the doctors and the right doctor. Say in hospital there are 5 doctors. Can all 5 doctors can see all the information? No. A specific doctor can see only his patient related information. He cannot access other patients' information. So the backups and the security, authentication, authorization, auditing is being very, very strict. And we have solved this very couple of years back. And most of the time, at least I can say till today, we have not seen any loopholes in it. They saying like a doctor has seen some other doctors patients information, organization have theft the patient information, or they have leaked this information. Such a small things, I have never seen this type of issues.
Thank you, sir. Now, do you wanted to take a couple of minutes break before you proceed into session 2, or would you like to continue, sir?
Mamta ma'am, you can go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Renuka sir, you can clarify.
Kanika ma'am, both the sessions have been completed, ma'am.
Okay, fine, sir.
So the thing was like earlier we had a plan to just do the Q&A once the session 1 is finished, but as per the speaker's request, we have completed both the sessions and done this Q&A session consolidated.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes,
you for the
yes, ma'am.
information.
The reason was like making the 2 different sessions. It was like tightly coupled each other. So I only requested Renuka saying like, let us mix it, and at the end we'll take the questions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So I would like to summarize today's presentation, sir. Very simple, but in detail explained by you with simple words. So starting with the healthcare concepts, the fundamentals of it, and you slowly brought the presentation into electronic medical records and oriented the participants on fundamental concepts of artificial intelligence. Of course, this is an ocean of a subject which cannot be completed in a span of 40 minutes or 45 minutes time, but you've tried your best to put the best information to all our participants, sir. And thank you so much for the presentation. And now I request Dr. Shailaja to please deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon and good evening, everyone, to one and all present here. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank you all the dignitaries and the participants here. On behalf of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research Fraternity and Department of Health System Management Studies and Center for Distance and Online Learning, I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates and participants present in this webinar. I extend my gratitude to our Dr. Dakshayani ma'am, Director for Center and Distance Online Learning, who has been the guiding force in all our endeavors to take out time from a busy schedule to grace this webinar. Thank you, ma'am. I also thank all the university officials for their constant support and encouragement by providing us this platform to conduct this webinar. I also take this opportunity to thank our speaker for today's webinar, Mr. Sharath Chandra Reddy, for the wonderful and knowledgeable session on electronic medical records. I wholeheartedly thank you, sir, on behalf of all the JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research Fraternity and Department of Health System Management Studies. A special thanks to Dr. Mamta ma'am, Coordinator, Department of Health System Management Studies, for constant support and making this webinar successful. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend my gratitude to Mrs. Kanakavalli ma'am and Mr. Renukacharya, course coordinators for Management Information System course, to organize this webinar. Thank you once again. I also take this opportunity to thank all the staffs from the Department of Health System Management Studies and Center for Distance and Online Learning for all their constant motivation to make this webinar happen. Once again, thank you one and all. Also, I thank Dr. Ravindra, our Chief Information Officer, and his team for all the constant technical support, without which this webinar would have not been successful. On behalf of Dr. Ravindra, I thank Dr. Sumukh also for the constant support. Last but not the least, I wholeheartedly thanks all the students from BBA Hospital Administration, MBA Hospital Administration, both from the regular as well as the online mode learners, and MBA in Pharmacy Administration, and all other colleagues from our university and hospital for their active participation and making this webinar a success. Now, I request all the participants to fill the feedback form typed in the chat box. I once again thank you one and all. Thank you.
We also thank Shailaja for the wonderful rendering of vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful delegation on EMR and digitization in healthcare. It was an insightful talk. So thank you again from JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research.
Thanks.
Thank you one and all. So
Yes,
participants, please do fill in the Google form which is shared for feedback, and you will be receiving the certificate for attending the webinar. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye.